Okay, so, this is my video number 24. So again, in this video I'll continue on the file management. Yeah. Just continue from the last video. That in the last video I have explained how to open a file, how do we define a file, how to create a file, how to read and write to the file, read from the file and write to the file. Okay, so in this video I will, so basically I think this is the last video, I guess. Yeah. So we will look at the how to write a data to the text file, and also how to write the character as well as read the character. Okay, so to write a data to text file, we use fprintf to write. So for example, this is the format given here. The format is given here. So we have a fprintf file, which file, and then format of output and value. Format of output, this is the that we have a %d, %f, and so on and so forth. And what is the list of variable. Okay, and of course here is the pointer. Yeah. So look at the example. So in the following example, we create a file named data outside the program. Yeah. The file will contain data from the program. So which means we input the data through our program. Okay, so look at this example, very short example. Okay. So we have main here, and this is the main process that we have. We define I, and then we define fin as a file pointer. All right, a pointer. So where fin is the we assign the file name data, which is we write. You know, we open the file. So this is, we open the file. The purpose of that file is to write a data to it. Okay, to write a data. Now for I, this is the looping process. Then fprintf means that we print to the file. We assign which file that we are looking for, as I explained in the previous video. We assign which file that we want to we want the compiler or the C write the data to, and in this case fin refer to that data, that file names data. Okay, this data means a file, and we want to print all I. So means that in this case we print I equal to 1 up to 10, 1 2 3 4 5 and so on to the file. Now if you look at the output, if you run this program, it has nothing, or you can see nothing in the on your screen except this sentence. Of course, press any key to continue. You don't see the I equal to 1 2 3 4 5 up to 10. Because why? Because all those data are printed to the file. Yeah. So if you want to see that file, you want to see the data, you have to open that file. Okay. As explained here, there is nothing in the output screen, because all the output has been saved inside a file named data. So the file can be opened in Notepad. So you just go to that and open the Notepad. If you look at the in your folder, there is a file name data. Just click that and open using Notepad, then you can get this output. So this is the output. Yeah, and this is the output in the file, the data in that file. that we have created, and we key in the data. So that's the way we write to a file. Now if you want to read, reading from a data, you want to read from the data, so data is stored in files so that the data can be retrieved for processing when needed. So it means that we already have the data in that file. Simple example, of course, is, let's say consider this data we already created, already have data in that. So we might need this number 1, 2, 3, this data we might need to process further, maybe to find the summation, to find whatever it is, whatever process we want to do that. So we want to retrieve that data to do the further processing. So now when we read the data, make sure the file exists and contain data, otherwise it will give error. When you read, we open the data, open the file, whereas the file is not there, it will give error. But it's not a big error, you can just correct those things. So look at this program. This program will read the created file names data from example file. So this in this subprogram, in this small program here, okay, in the previous program we create the file and we key in the data into that file. Key in here means we generate the data using our program. We not key in through the keyboard. We generate the data. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the generated data through our program. Now if you want to read those data, of course in this case the data that we have here, you can use array, right? You can use array, definitely you can use array here. So as given in this example, so what do we have here? So we have a file called, we name a pointer f out, so this f out, we assign data. So this data, this file named data is the same as the previous data because we are reading from the previous file. Okay, so just the same file. And then this is the looping because we have 10 data in there. So we have for I 1 to 10, and then we read from the data. So f scan f, this f means that we read from the data, and we point that this a particular file that we are looking for, f out, where f out our is the file names data. Okay, so what we want to what do we want to read? So this variable ai, so ai from 1 to 10, so which means that a0, a1, a2, a3, a4 and so on will have this data. This is as a1, a2, a3, a4, 5 up to 10. Okay, so now if we print out this, okay, that's for read the file, and then from this file, okay, from those file we print to the screen. If you look at here, we don't have f here, so which means that we print to the screen, to our screen, what we want to print exactly as what we read, which is ai. So we read the we print the ai, and then we close those file, then you run, you got this output. Okay, a1 is 1, a2 is 2, and so on and so forth. Okay, then comes the question, can we print this data to the different file? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. We need to open another file in that case. So here we just printf, and then follow the syntax that we have. So maybe you need fin2, 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 and what we want to print. So we want to print all these things ai. So automatically we open another file, fin f open, let's say data1, and with W there, and then here just put F, and then we need F in fin 1, yeah, and then we print out those into the file. In that case, when you run, you don't see this on your screen, whereas you have to open the file, another file that's probably data1 or whatever name you want to put in. Okay, so that's how we read from the file, we print to the file, from the file we can print on the screen, we can print on the file. It's up to us, totally up to us. Then okay, if we look at this example, next example is we want to write a program to open a file named inventory and store the following data. So this is the data that we need to store. Okay, so the program supposed to read this data from the file inventory, which means we have the file inventory with that data, and display the table with the value of each item. Okay, if you look at this program here, so we have file FP, we have number and quantity in one. I have tried this program. There is some error, and there is some error, but it's not big error. I think you can in this case we have a quantity, just typing error somewhere, missing some number or those just kind of thing. It's not big, not a big error. Okay, let's read this. So we have this price value of floats, we have char item file name, so input the file name, scan file name. So in this case we give the file name through the keyboard. Okay, we give the file name through the keyboard. So when you run the program, it will turn out this print out this input file name. So you just key in the file name. So those file name we want it name inventory, so you just type inventory. Okay, and then we open file name. So those file name, the one that we put in, so we open this, we just give a name. Now we open those file. So those file, which means the inventory name inventory is created by that statement. Now print, this is print on the keyboard, on the screen, on your screen, yeah, and another print item name, number, price, and everything. Okay, and then we do the looping here. This is to read the data from the screen. Okay, read the data from the screen. As you can see here, we have item, we have just scan F without F in front of it, which means read from the screen, all these items that we need to read. And then we have this statement f print f means that we print to the file. Which file? Which is fp. So this is the pointer. This pointer fp refer to the file name that we just opened. Yeah. And then what we want to print, everything that we have read here. Yeah, I mean everything that we have key into through your keyboard. Yeah, so if you look at here, you have S, we have D, we have F of 2 decimal places, we have another integer. So we have item, number, price, and quantity. Item, number, price, and and quantity. Okay, having done those, we close those files, and then we open again the same file. We open again, all right, and then prints. This part here will be printed on your screen. Item, number, price, quantity, and value. And then we do this process. We read from the file. Yeah, this means we read from the file. FP refer to which file we want to read from. Okay, and the rest is the variables or item that we want to read. And then we do the process here. Price times quantity, we got value, and then print on the screen everything there, item, number, price, quantity, and value, and close. And this is the output. So the first part of the output here, this part here is the data that we key in through the keyboard, because we have that statements. Scan F there. So all this data, Z1, Z2, Z3, and everything is like that, we key in through the keyboard. The second part here, where we print, which is this part here. Okay? If you look at here, we have print, just print on the screen, everything there. So it's come up here. Okay, and then we read from the file that we just created, and then whatever data that in that file we read in, we calculate the price, we calculate the value, and then we print on the screen. That we print it on the screen. So the output becomes, this is the your data input. Okay, and this is the outputs that printed on your screen. If you look at open the inventory file, right? Or if you open the file names inventory, you will have like this. You have like this. So where does in the programming that give a comment to write this? So if you look at your programming here, so it's a printf here, fprintf here. Okay, so this fprintf, we print that. If you look at here, we have Z1, Z2, and Z3, not in a good order like this one. The reason because in this fprintf we don't have /n. Yeah, if you put /n here, if you put /n, then you can have Z1 up to there, and then Z2 here, and then Z3 here. Okay, so that's for the read and write the file. So I would suggest, can you please copy this program into your C compiler and then try to run it. Probably there's some error, not a big error. The logic, everything is correct, and also you need to be careful when we key in the data. Here you can see we declare item of char with size 10. So when we key into the data, make sure that from here to here we have 10 characters, otherwise it gives you a wrong result. Yeah, it just this is the way you put in, because Z1, then you need 8 empty spaces before you put in that next data, and the rest you can just press one space bar is enough. Okay, next we go to the input and output function file. We have getC and putC function are analogous to getChar and putChar function. and handle one character at a time. So put C, write a character to the function. So for example, if you want to write a character to the file. For example, if you want to put the character C into the file with pointer fp1. So this is the way we put in. Okay. And for getChar, that's the syntax that we need. So look at this example here. Yeah, look at the example. If you look at this example, you can see end of file, everything here. This end of file means that if you want to keep the data, let's say I want to go to school. I want to go to school. Example. Yeah, I want to go to school. So here, this is end of data. So this is after this part here, end of file. So to inform the compiler that this is the end of file, what you need just Control Z. Yeah, it's written here. I think it's close at the signal somewhere. Let me check. I think Control Z or what? Yeah, here. Just Control Z. So it means that end of file. So it means when the compiler found that we Control Z, so the compiler understands that's the end of data. Okay. So if you look at this example here. Look at this example. So prints data F1 open. This is input we need to write. And then while C getChar, whatever it is. So getChar, this is we get from the screen. Yeah, this is from the screen. As long as not end of file. Okay. And then here we put C. This is we put on the file. Which file? F1. What character? C. So you can put whatever there. So while C getChar. So get C one by one. You can write the I want to go to school one by one. So those C will the value of C is those I space W A N T and then one by one until you found the end of file. So you can read those things. And then having read those C, print to the file, and then we close. Next we open that file again to read. And then we get C. This is we get from the file, which is F1. As long as not end of file. So we give the value to C and then print C. So this print we print to the screen. So the output is this is the data that we put in the first part here. We are learning the file management in C. Then we put the Control Z. So this statement here is that getChar. Okay. And then if you compile this, then this part here, data output, this come from this section here, data output. And then while C get and prints everything on the screen. So this is what we printed on the screen. We are learning the file management in C. And then press any key to. So if you open the file data, you will have this. Yeah. We are learning the file management in C. So I hope you can understand this thing, and maybe not that clear, I suppose, because I don't know. I think I have given you explain you one by one, but somehow I think we might need a face-to-face somehow. I mean, this I think we cannot avoid those things. So I I have a plan to have a GM in next week. Yeah, I think around next week. just to explain on the file management, probably if I have enough time on function as well, if you have enough time. Yeah. So with that, I thank you, and also any mistake on the video, on the way my presentation is not really good, then I'm so sorry for that. But this is the end of our online lecture. Actually, this is the end of it. We have finished everything, and your test will be in the week 10 or 11. I will inform later. Okay, so as a conclusion for this in this video, what I have thought is that how do we write into the file, okay, how do we read from the file, how do we write the character into the file, how to read character from the file. So having done all this, basically you can solve big problem now. Actually, you can solve big problem. Before I end up this video, can you think of, maybe we can, if ever time, we can discuss this thing. Can you think of, if you have a matrix, just a simple matrix, AB 2x2 matrix, CD, okay, try to find the inverse of the matrix. Find the inverse of the matrix. Okay, you can write the output which contain a matrix A and A inverse into the file. You can insert the data from the screen if you want. Yeah, insert data through your screen, but you can print the output into the file. Yeah, maybe you can try this. Quite interesting, right? I don't know what is the inverse. Let me do this. What is the inverse? Inverse of A. This is we need the determinant of A, and here is dA, and here is negative B and negative C. So how do you do this? Yeah. First thing, if you look at this, we interchange between A and D. We interchange those. The diagonal matrix we interchange. All right. So if you consider this matrix, if you consider that as we have here as A11, A12, A21, A22. So to interchange this, let's just consider like you have two bowl. You have something in here, you have something in here. Now you want to interchange. How do you do that? You cannot have two atoms at the same time. You cannot have two atoms at the same time. So the strategy is that we need another bowl, empty bowl, or we call it as a temporary bowl. All right. And this is A11, this is A22. So let's call this SAM. So what we can do is that we move the data A11 into SAM. Now A11 basically empty, or at least it will not overlap, because even if it overlap, we have saved the value A11 into SAM. Since that one we have saved, the value of A11 we save. Now A22 we put it here. Okay, and then that one is considered empty. Then this SAM we put it there. Then the value change. So to do this in the programming, what we can do, SAM equal to A11, then A11 equal to A22, and then A22 equal to 7. Now by doing this, you can interchange those things. For the negative of those, so just put it's not difficult to do that. Now what you need to do is, how can you think the use of looping for? Remember that you only have your matrix is only 2 by 2, so it's easy, basically easy. But how do you convert this problem into solving using C? Yeah, so think of that. Yeah, we have a lot of time to discuss this thing. Next week, the following week, still we can do it. Okay, I just want you to think of those things. And also, you may consider, given two matrix AB, given two matrix, where matrix A you can key in the data, matrix B you can key in the data. Do this process. A times B, this is given in a note already. Just try to copy and see what happened. Try A plus B, A minus B. Try those things. Yeah, so this should be much easier. Yeah, because you know that for A plus B we just need to sum up the similar item, so it should be no problem to do that. All right, so with that I thank you. Basically we have done everything from the basic understanding of the programming, what C is, right, to the looping, to the condition if case, and we also have for looping process, nested for, do while, and so on, and array, and then we go to the function, then last we do the file management. All right, so with that I thank you. See till we meet again. Bye bye.